Návštěva videoherních studií patří k těm nejzajímavějším zážitkům. Nahlédnete totiž pod pokličku vývoje a zjistíte, jak vypadají ti vývojáři, které obvykle vidíte jen jako jména v titulcích. A přesně to jsme udělali po ukončení E3 2012. Vypravili jsme se do studia Exile, ve kterém se pracuje na RPGčku Wasteland 2. Finance na vývoj si majitel firmy Fargo opatřil z kampaně na Kickstarteru a toho staví do neobvyklé pozice. Kdysi totiž býval šéfem firmy Interplay a postaral se o hry jako Wasteland, Fallout, Stonekeep anebo Bard's Tale a výrazně pomohl studiím Black Isle a Shiny. Nyní se vrací k nezávislému, téměř garážovému vývoji. Nezávislost má svoje výhody, třeba v tom, že nad Fargem nevisí Damoklův meč pokuty anebo žaloby od chlebodárců, takže bez obalu a vytáček mluví o své práci. V prvním ze 2 rozhovorů jsme se zaměřili právě na fenomén Kickstarteru. Briane, po Timu Schefferovi si byl druhým člověkem, který výrazně uspěl na Kickstarteru. Požadovaných $900 000 lidé zaplatili, ale u toho se nezastavili. Nakonec si získal 3 miliony. Jaké si zdával šance při zakládání kickstarterovské kampaně?
There was this sense of whether it could be done again. Because when I started doing mine, I remember seeing some early comments, people going, well, you know, lightning can't strike twice. And there was also the fact that I was asking for so much more money. You know, Tim asked for 400,000, and he was at maybe a couple $1 million when I went, and I was asking for basically $1 million. And people said, well, you're asking for too much, but I could not do a sequel justice for, because if I say 400, I have to assume I'm going to do it for 400. I couldn't assume that I would over commit. So. Anyway, so I went out at a high number and it worked. So I think that did help set it to be like, okay, once was not a twice now there's actually maybe something here. And so I think that helped for people to realize it, that this could be a real paradigm shift.
Máš za sebou několik dekád producentských a manažerských zkušeností. Proč si se přiklonil ke Kickstarteru a nehledal soukromého investora, jako to třeba u nás udělal Dan Vávra?
It's very hard to find private investors here, to invest, because what they really want, they're more interested in investing into business models than into products. Investing in products not that sexy. They want to, the Google or Kickstarter. Like that's a great business model, right? The Kickstarter.com, I mean, right? That's more interesting to them. Or who's the next Zynga? They're all looking for that 100-to-1 payoff, that 1,000-to-1 payoff. So with a game, in reality, if you make a game, if you get a nice profit from it, if you spent $3 million and made $5 million on top of the $3 million, that's not that big a deal for an investor. They want to make $30 million. Well, there's not a lot of games you can point to that can make them $30 million profit in the U.S., right? It's that you can look at Minecraft all day long, but those they're anomalies, right? So it's very hard to get investment here, and beyond that, it comes with a lot of hooks in it, and with Kickstarter you don't have those hooks.
Jména Tim Schafer a Fargo nejsou neznámá. Lidé vám dávají peníze, protože znají vaše předchozí výsledky. Jako známé osobnosti ale berete na Kickstarteru peníze nováčkům, kteří mají nápad, ale ne tu slávu. Takže uživatelé raději přihodí vám. Co nám k tomu řekneš?
I used to be one of those small guys too, I mean, I think we all start somewhere. I think that one of the people, they say, well, how do you raise $1 million with Kickstarter? I said, well, easy. First, do it for 30 years. I mean, that's how long I've been at it for. And I don't think it's an either-or situation. There's not like a fixed money bag that gets split up. It's whether people feel compelled to want to do it. I have a lot of people that they're not in the game business, and they say insane. They can't believe it. Why would anybody give you a penny? I said, do you have a band that you used to love when you were a kid? Yeah. I go, what if they were to get back together and want to make an album? Would you give $20? They said, yeah, I might. I said, well, we all have our thing. We all have that one thing we would pay for. And so it's not a finite bag. And as you know, I did the kicking it forward thing, which I mean, I'm the first to say it's so wonderful that I'm going to kick back, some of my profits. And I've encouraged other people to do the same, which is it's a great source of capital. It's the least expensive capital one can get, and let's agree to kick it back into the ecosystem so it continues. Notch is a good example. What if we had a Notch that made that kind of money. He'd be putting $3, $4, $5 million back in right now. It'd be great. I mean, I can't wait till we have profit and I'm just sending out $1,000, $10,000 checks to help other people get going. It's great because I know there'll be another guy that comes along that becomes the next notch or whatever, as long as we keep giving him a shot. And I'm kicking it forward. We have over 100 companies now or projects that have committed to support it. And that's great. And it's basically an honor system. And I tell you what, in the development community, they're a good group. Everybody sticks together. They share code. They share ideas. They share their numbers. They share more than I can't even believe they do, but they do it. They open up and they share. So I think it's great. So I think it will. I think it's not a flash in the pan. That there'll be some ups and downs, but it's not going away.
Kickstarter bývá označován za studnici plnou peněz. Myslíš, že to tak skutečně je a tvůj úspěch se dá znovu zreplikovat?
One of the trends I've noticed recently is that in the beginning, people would go out for Kickstarter, ask for 400,000 or 900,000, and they'd get 2 times what they asked or 5 times what they asked. The trend I'm noticing now is people are just getting what they asked. Just, maybe they're funding over 107%, right? They're just barely making it. And people have said, well, you know what, we want to see the products now, right? We finance a whole bunch of games that we believe in, but we'd like to start seeing it. So I think that getting to those kind of numbers now, I don't know, And then let's say Wasteland 2 is a huge hit. Well, I guess maybe I could go back for more, but they might say, well, it's a huge hit, so therefore you guys should have some money to do it too, right? So I don't know, where that lives. You'd have to have a very compelling case, but I think it would be very difficult now to go bigger than what we've gone because of the wait and see attitude.
Máš vlastní studio, máš vlastní projekt a na něj máš vlastní peníze. To je dost nezvyklá situace, protože v posledních letech si byl závislý na financích od velkých firem. Jak se v téhle totálně nezávislé pozici cítíš?
There's been things that I've talked about in this project that if I had talked about during other projects, I would have been sued because of non-disclosure agreements, right? This open book, very transparent. I'm telling people what's going on. Here's our thoughts. It's a wonderful, and I describe it, I use the word symbiotic relationship with people, in that we read everything they put up there, and as a group, I find the fans are quite sane. There's always the fringe, on either side, but as a group, they're quite sane. They have really great ideas and feedback, and I think everything's a crowdsource if you think about it, right? When I walk into my guy's office and have a meeting, I'm having a mini crowdsource, right? If I have a board of directors, that's my crowdsource. So we're always crowdsourcing everything. No person does everything themselves. So I find it super healthy, because we are sort of we're confident in our approach. We're honest. So here it is. I'm willing to talk about it. So it is very refreshing. Also, the process is easier because it's more organic. I'm not having to prove to anybody that we know what we're doing, or to prove to one producer who works for a company his vision of what he thinks people want, right? And then you go through that filter process, and then where the problems have, especially for somebody like me who has strong personality and strong instincts, is that if my instincts don't match with the producers, and I feel like I'm being made to do something the users are not going to like, that causes a real problem for me, because at the end of the day, I know they're going to point to me and say, and blame me, even though I might have been forced to do it, by him. So that's where you get a lot of the developers really frustrated.
No to je pravda, ale tlaky, které na tebe při vývoji Wasteland nevyvíjí producent, na tebe vyvíjí komunita lidí, tvoji drobní investoři. Před nimi přeci také musíš ohýbat záda, pakliže se jim něco nezdá na návrzích hry.
If I throw up a screen and 80% of people say they hate green, just we run a poll and everyone hates green. Well, who am I to argue about wanting green so bad, okay? But that isn't, that really wasn't on the broad stroke stuff. We pretty much, as long as we're communicating why and we're in this and that, every once in a while there's some counterintuitive things, but I'm not going to push up against that. If there's some counterintuitive thing to me, but I understand where they're coming from and they all agree, oh, it's okay. But they're never going to get into I joke in my video, oh, the boot isn't high enough. I don't know. We're not forced to have those kind of crazy conversations. We really aren't. I mean, they kind of get the totality of what we're doing, and they want to weigh in on the important things. Like, is it turn-based combat? Is it real-time combat? Right? That sort of stuff. Does the camera not look right? Are they not readable? Right? I mean, if two guys say they're not readable, but 98 say they are readable, then then we're probably okay. I'm telling you, it's a healthy dialogue that I think makes a better game.
Vrátím se zpátky k té nezávislosti. Jak se projevuje na vnitřních nákladech studia Exile?
When you're doing a product for a publisher, you have to jump through a lot of hoops. Okay, and I've had this conversation with Tim Schafer, with everybody. You're constantly proving what you're doing and whether you're hitting the milestone. And you're having to like just stop everybody, freeze, try to get a code build that works, hand it off to them. And then, well, but you missed this one thing. You said there'd be 7 monsters. There's only 6 monsters. And then you're chasing to get paid. That process adds 25 to 35% more time and effort, which translates to budget on top of it. The best developers in this industry, the ones that do the best work, isn't just because they're the most talented, and they are talented. It's because they have the ability to say, "Get out of my office." They don't have to deal with that, and there's a very small group of people. People that you think that have been around for a long time still have to deal with what I described, and you lose heart in the project, and it ends up making the cost go up.
Kde ale mají hráči brát jistotu, že projekt skutečně doděláte na čas?
There's more pressure on me than ever before to deliver. I mean, if I don't deliver on this baby, I'm going to make it hard for the next guy. So and I get that. And if we deliver, I can be doing this for another decade, which I love. I love doing this, right? At the same time, I've never felt more confident because of that relationship and communication that I keep talking to. So there won't be any surprises. I mean, if I work with my community throughout the entire thing, what about this, what about that? Then I get to the end, and we're in lockstep for all the decisions. And a journalist says, "I don't like the camera angle." Who are they to say they don't like the camera angle when I had 50,000 people, we vetted it, right, and we talked about it, and we had the trade-off. Who are they to say when we've discussed it, right? So I feel more confident than ever before because of that. But you got to really do it. You can't just say you're going to talk with the fans.
Tak fanoušci jsou základ a určitě je potěšilo, že se díky jejich penězům dostal na palubu Exilu scénárista Chris Avellone. Jaká s ním je spolupráce?
Oh, he's horrible. He's horrible. You're lucky he's not here today. He's violent. I mean, my God. He is a very gentle soul. He's a good guy. He really, I mean, no matter how talented he is, at this point in my career, I only want to work with people that I like, and he's great. And so, obviously knew him from the Interplay days. He's very well respected, and he is hardcore. I mean, he plays every single game that comes out. I mean, I don't know how he has a life, and so. At least every RPG, and so he brings a great perspective, and he's been doing it for a long time, and he's just adding a lot of depth and a lot of character. He's totally excited about the product. I mean, probably, I can't speak for him, but he seems as excited about this as about anything he's worked on, and he's also helping us with the design of the. I mean, whether we talk about combat system stuff and what works, and then into the specific writing itself, and he's helping bring. I talk about that sense of density. I mean, like Torment was like 1 million words, right? We're not going there, okay? I'm not trying to compete in word count, but the point is that's how he thinks, right? He likes to bring that sort of depth to it, and that's what I want. I want him to help set the bar for my other writers also. So he's been great to deal and work with.